Welcome to the Solemn Yu-Gi-Oh channel. Today we are discussing which Blue Eyes is the best one. Now this is a bit of a heated topic. In general, when people look at trading cards as a collectible or as investment or anything like that, they see Magic the Gathering has Black Lotus. Pokemon has first ed base Charizard. They are their clearly defined crown jewels. And no one's arguing that. No one's going, no, the actual investment is the Venusaur. Or someone's going, no, it's the Mox Diamond or the Mox Ruby or whatever. No one's saying that. They have their clearly defined grail of the hobby, and that's it. In Yu-Gi-Oh, there's still some people debating. Now, so far, the most expensive card of the first few releases in Yu-Gi-Oh is Legend of Blue Eyes, first edition Blue Eyes White Dragon. Now, the reason for that is because people saw it's the chase card of the first set. Therefore, it's Charizard and Black Lotus. And that's kind of true, but the problem is that also all of the people who are actually into this stuff agree that thing looks ugly as hell. And that's a big issue, because fundamentally that means the actual collectors don't quite love this card as much as you would hope. So where in Magic, people love Black Lotus. Black Lotus is iconic. They see the Black Lotus, and from Alpha, there is not a single other card they could possibly want to pull. Even if you don't look at the value, people love that Black Lotus because it was the most broken, insane card. It was the best, and there's no way to get around that. Now you move to Pokemon. In general, sure, there's some Blastoise and Venusaur fans, but Charizard was the chase card. Always has been. Now, if you go into Yu-Gi-Oh! And you ask, hey, you remember Blue Eyes White Dragon, right? Because first of all, everyone agrees Blue Eyes is going to be the chase card. It is the fan favorite monster. Blue Eyes is it. If you still want to go, no, Dark Magician was used by the protagonist. No, Blue Eyes. It's Blue Eyes. You know that one? That one? Yeah, it's going to be Blue Eyes. However, if you ask anyone, hey, what Blue Eyes do you really like? They'll show you the DDS or the SDK, because the art on LOB, everyone kind of agrees, sucks big dicks. You have this neck that's all like this. Rah, wow, what a cool card. Everyone calls it the broken neck Blue Eyes. Everyone grew up on the SDK art. The art used in the anime. The art you saw Kaiba rip up. The art you saw the grandpa hold up. That is the art. That is the art everyone loved. Imagine if the actual most expensive card in Pokemon was Charizard with a broken neck standing like this. Would you say, oh yeah, that is the collector's card? I don't know about that. However, because people see the analogies between Pokemon and MTG, the money just started pouring in. However, for the longest time, LOB Blue Eyes wasn't even expensive compared to the others. For the longest time, it was barely beating, if that, DDS and SDK. Now, with that being said, currently, it is the most valuable card. And I'm not gonna contest that. If you want to look for a LOB from a sealed thing right now, it is going to be the hardest. Technically, you can find a sealed Dark Duel Stories game, open it, and have your almost mint Blue Eyes confirmed. You can go look for a first edition sealed starter deck Kaiba, open it, and have it confirmed. Both those things are super rare to find, and you're going to easily spend a lot of thousands of dollars, but you're going to open it, confirmed, and that's it. And it's still sub $10,000 to do that. Now, if you want a LOB Blue Eyes, you're gonna have to find a sealed first edition LOB box, break it, and pray that the card is in there. Because more than likely, it won't be. However, with all that being said, the more rare one is still the SDK. So that's a bit of a weird one. Like, if you just look at the pop report on the PSA 10s, there's less SDKs than LOBs right now. Same with DDS. So with all of that out of the way, there's arguments for all of them. Let's actually get into those arguments. So currently, in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game, instead of having the one clear winner, we still have our three grails, let's say. Now, some could argue, oh, there's the OCG Festa Blue Eyes as well. Sure, but that's not what we're discussing today. We're discussing the actual English cards. Bandai has some really cool cards as well. Not a topic for today. But so there's our three grails. We have LOB, Blue Eyes, first edition. Some could say, oh, it's wavy instead of glossy. Sure, whatever. LOB Blue Eyes. Reason this is the one right now is it's from the first set, not a starter deck, not a game. So it's harder to pull if you wanted to turn sealed into a card right now. And again, it's the first set, so right now it's the most expensive. Now, whether that's completely because of speculation or because somehow every collector became a fan of it between 2017 and now, I don't know. I'm not gonna even talk about that. That's one of them. Then you have the SDK, the Blue Eyes everyone grew up on. First editions are still insanely hard to find. Everyone grew up on the Unlimited, but most didn't have the first edition. Kind of the same story as with the Charizards. The base set Unlim actually aren't that rare. So that's art everyone grew up on, so that has that iconic nostalgia value. Then there's the DDS. DDS is the same art as the SDK, so we still all grew up on it. However, it was far more pretty foil. It has something special, some prismatic, secret, fancy foiling. Apart from that, you could only get it from the game. So whereas every kid at the playground could open a $12 starter deck, you needed to get a $50 Game Boy game for this DDS Blue Eyes, and not everyone even had the console and so forth, so it was a bit harder to find at the time. So those are our three. They all have their pros and cons. Which is better? I don't know. Right now, given that we have a lot of speculator-driven market dynamics, people coming from sports cards, MTG, Pokemon, going, oh, what is your base set Charizard? Oh, it's the Blue Eyes? I'll give you 40,000. Since that we have a lot of that, it's pretty hard to say. LOB Blue Eyes may very well keep winning because of its own reputation now, despite all the collectors and people with nostalgia actually thinking, well, I prefer DDS, I prefer SDK, or I prefer Festa, but let's not get into that right now. So which is gonna win? I don't know. If it's all fueled by just investors and people outside who actually don't have a connection to Yu-Gi-Oh!, probably gonna be the LOB. But if we go back to 2017 as far as relative price goes, so I don't think we'll ever see the prices of 2017 again, be very aware of that, but that's just my opinion. Maybe we'll start seeing the DDS and the SDK go up again, especially if people learn how to read pop reports. Full disclosure, I have an SDK. Now, I could have bought a DDS at the time I bought the SDK for the same price. So it's not like, oh, he's shit talking everything but SDK because he has an SDK. I could have bought the DDS. I didn't grow up on the DDS, so I didn't buy the DDS. Wish I bought both actually, but that's aside the point. Now, some people may say, oh, these three are out of my range right now. These three are all above $10,000 and I'm not able to pay that. Cool. There are technically some alternatives. So when you have those three are 2002 release Blue Eyes, there are actually other Blue Eyes from around that time. So not a lot of people noticed, but BPT 003 Blue Eyes is also a 2002 card. So right under those three, you can find a BPT 003 Blue Eyes, which is from the same year. Is it as rare? Slightly less so. Now, the one thing it does have going for it is that these tins, because yes, these cards were in tins, have an issue. A very, very big issue. If you open up a booster pack tin right now with a Blue Eyes, you would expect, well, I'll just pull a minty fresh card out of it, right? No, 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 no. Where if you open LOB, you can expect an 8 to a 10. 8 if you're a bit unlucky, probably more like 9, 10 range, maybe off-centering, sure. So 8 to 10 is what you'll probably pull out of an LOB. SDK, you open that, again, 8 to 10. Some things could have gone wrong, but in general, in that range. However, DDS, you're gonna pull 10s, just like that. Now, some may have 9s, but in general, these are kept amazing condition. So you're pretty safe opening that DDS. However, you open a booster back tin right now, good fucking luck. These are damaged. We're not talking about, oh no, we're gonna get an 8 because of some stuff because of the factory. No, 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 no. These are fucked. Go to Ruxin's channel right now. He'll tell you. He has opened how many fucking cases of these. They're all damaged beyond belief. I don't know why. You know, you have your plastic container these are in and the cards are in loose. So it's very possible that these were shipped and shipped and then it scratched that surface. But then it also has this waxy dirt. I don't really know. All these backs of these BPT promos are fucked. So while you may think, oh, I can still get a booster packed in right now for $900 or $600 in that range, more than likely you aren't pulling even near mint cards out of it. In the packs, sure, but the promos are mostly fucked. So this means there's actually some rarity to them. Is a BPT on the same level as our three grails? Absolutely not. The big thing it doesn't have going for it is the fact that it's LOB art, where everyone agrees that LOB doesn't have the prettiest art. This one has the same art. And so this one is still 2002. This is actually a really good argument for why maybe the LOB price is a bit inflated, because not as many people care about the BPT, even though it's the same art and it's prettier rarity than LOB. This could be the DDS version of LOB. And yet it isn't, because most people agree the broken neck isn't all that cool. Now, me personally, I kinda like the horror look. You know, it's a bit edgier. However, it's not nostalgic. It is not the card we grew up on. So we have our grails of 2002. It's the 3, LOB DDS SDK. Then we have our BPT. It's not as loved, but it is relatively rare. It is vintage, and it's still relatively affordable right now. It just doesn't have the SDK or DDS art, and everyone agrees LOB just isn't all that pretty. Now, there's some more. One could say, oh wait, there was a Jump promo Blue Eyes. Yes, that's true. You actually had a Shonen Jump promo Blue Eyes in that time period as well. This one has been mostly forgotten because Jump promos generally don't go up quite that much. I'm not sure why. Is it because they were too easy to get? Is it because easy to grade? I don't really know. I personally don't know. I own one. I still have to send it in for grading. I have no particular love for it. It's not one of the arts that I particularly like. Maybe that's part of the reason. Maybe it's because kids didn't really grow up on them. I don't know. But in general, they're just not quite as loved. If you are very deep into Blue Eyes collecting, let me know why you think the Jump one actually isn't all that high. Maybe it's a hidden gem. But so from that era, you have the 3 grails, BPT, Jump. Then to the next year, we have another BPT. So yes, we have BPT 09, which is basically the same, apart from slightly different cardstock and limited edition wording. That's all. Apart from that, they're the same thing. Maybe that's also driving the price down because you still have the alternative there, but it's not the same year anymore. Now, finally, whoa, this is a long ass story. We have the PCK Blue Eyes. So this Blue Eyes also came from a game for the Game Boy. I think it's Power Chaos Kaiba, something like that. It was longer, the word, but something like that. PCK Blue Eyes. Again from a game. So you could say, oh, it's like DDS. Well, again, it's not that nostalgic art. This once again shows you how truly impactful the art is. There's plenty of cards that are harder to grade than DDS, are more rare, are more easily damaged in the packaging, and yet it just doesn't get those prices because it's not the SDK art. So that is basically the tier list, let's say. You have your 3 grails, tier S. Those are D Blue Eyes. Which one will win? I don't really care at this point. It's gonna be one of those 3. If people end up saying, okay, this nostalgic, beautiful Blue Eyes art, that's the one that's actually worth it. The PSA 10s are also more rare. It'll be SDK. If people are saying, whoa, it's gonna be nostalgic art, sure, but DDS is prettier, it's gonna be the DDS. If people are saying, yeah, but it has to be from our first set, then it's gonna be the LOB. So that's uncontested. It's gonna be one of those 3. Unless, of course, you go, no, it's Festa, but it's completely different. But which of the 3? We'll see. Right now, LOB is winning. Then next year, I would say, you go into your BPT 003. You know, it's a Blue Eyes from 2002 as well. It's hard to grade. It's relatively rare. It's again from that year. The only thing it doesn't have going for it is that it's the LOB art. It does, however, have that secret rare to it. So if you are a fan of the horror look, let's say, then maybe that's something for you. It's also more affordable. It has, however, been going up. Like I said a few weeks ago, I think, like, oh, BPT feels undervalued. And the channel isn't big enough to influence prices, so don't go fucking around like that. And so it just has been moving up, so be aware of that. Then you have your Jump promo, maybe? I really don't know. Like, it's not all that wanted, but if people are going purely after those cards from 2002, 2003, maybe the Jump promo will get some traction. And then we have our BPT 09, which is the same as BPT 03, apart from a few differences. You know, slightly different cardstock and limited edition. But again, that word doesn't really mean much. It's just gonna be the next less rare alternative. However, it's still a BPT. And then we have our PCK, which is a completely different art. However, it is still from those early eras. I think this one is 2004. And from there, it took quite a while till we saw actually some more vintagey Blue Eyes. I guess it's because we then moved into the GX era, and so they didn't want to keep on hopping onto Blue Eyes' dick, let's say. So that was a quick look into the beautiful world of Blue Eyes. I hope this was helpful. I hope this was some good information. If you have any more questions, pop in the comments down below. Be sure to like this video, subscribe, and I will see you soon. Ciao.